Hi there, my name is Rama and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Blitzz, reaching out to you all today from our HQ at Los Gatos, California. To tell you a little bit about Blitzz, we're a fast-growing company out of Silicon Valley, California. We started in 2017 and have grown our team since then, carefully handpicking each team member. Each one of us has the smarts and the much-needed empathy for people who call other people for supporting them regarding an equipment, a process, or a facility they manage. We're here to listen to you, incorporate your feedback, and strive to provide you with a great product and service that Blitzz is today. Also, my background as a scientist and an engineer has given me ample experience around field equipment, specifically troubleshooting and supporting customers in global companies like Applied Materials, Micron Semiconductors, and many more. I understand both sides of the equation, that is, the customer needing support and the supporting team as well, and it's that perspective I hope to share with you all today. We also sincerely thank you for joining this webinar and taking the time to understand our value proposition and the results we've seen from our wonderful partnerships with customers like you. Please hit us with an emoji to show your presence. Now let me pose a series of questions to you listeners so that we get on the same page. Does your business sell any equipment of, say, a price point of $300 or greater, or a service around an equipment like maintenance, inspections, audits, or even insurance? Do you have a team of customer support agents? Do you have a team of field techs? Do you have a team of subject matter experts that is often called to help out field techs stuck on a problem they did not know how to solve? If you answered yes to even one of these questions, then you probably agree with the statement that today you do not leverage the power of live video and augmented reality in the above specific workflows, but you are here to understand more. After this webinar, you will have a clear understanding of the following questions you probably have in mind. Why is app-based versus app-free video collaboration even important? How is Blitzz different from Zoom, WebEx, or Teams, or other meeting or video collaboration apps, even the consumer-grade ones like Google Hangouts or WhatsApp? What are typical use cases, and how does Blitzz approach them? How easy is it to demo, learn, pilot, and deploy, or even white label as your own brand? How easy is it to get started, and what resources do you need? What are the typical KPI improvements, and how soon can you realize them? The use of smart glasses and using it optimally is another question that comes to mind. Our objective through this webinar is to give you a ton of value, pretty similar to what you would get by engaging a consulting firm to quickly bring you up to speed with the latest and the greatest in remote video, AR, and AI in various use cases. Now let's talk about some of the challenges you are facing today and get on the same page there as well. The pandemic, having necessitated varying levels of social distancing, has put a damper on your support teams and has left several of you and your customers, partners, and suppliers struggling with the inefficiencies it has created. The silver lining is that you've realized that there might be more efficient tools to get the job done without dispatching a technician or an unnecessary product return for several use cases. As pandemic restrictions come off, you're willing to continue using these tools because of the productivity they facilitate and the cost savings realized. Okay, but now you're trying to figure out where to start, how to budget people and resources, and perhaps even worried about change management and adoption of these new technologies. Having worked with thousands of teams across several industries, we've identified two broad categories, and I'll go over them now. The first one is concierge support. As the name suggests, this is primarily used by support teams, typically in a contact or call center environment. To keep things simple, I'll even include the sales teams here, where they're trying to literally look at their prospect's equipment, process, or facility with their own eyes to better understand and therefore better help the customer with the buying decision. As an example, we have several flooring companies using Blitzz to look at the prospect's home or business to assess their needs and scope out the work in the first call to give a pretty good estimate of the work and materials needed. So that was sales, but going to support teams, We have brands like Rogers Communications and BMW delighting their customers over video and resolving their problems quickly. Before Blitzz, these agents would have to forward a ticket to the dispatch department, who would then schedule a technician to visit the customer at a later date in a defined time window. Now, even the techs who go out into the field can use Blitzz Concierge, but this time their support agent is typically a subject matter expert or even a supervisor who does not have to travel to that site. One could argue that with a supervisor you could probably FaceTime or WhatsApp, but think of a large nationwide team with just a few centralized subject matter experts where that personal access may not be feasible. Also, that collaboration is begging to be captured and shared company-wide the next time another tech encounters the same problem at another site. I'm not even talking about other useful augmented reality features like the pointer, markup of images, capturing date, time, and location stamped photos, adding another collaborator on the fly, and much, much more. Another way of looking at this use case is that in concierge support, the workflow before Blitzz has been through audio calls by a support team, typically followed by either 1, a product or equipment return, or 2, a dispatch of a technician, usually from another team, to the product site. With Blitzz, that audio call is escalated to video, and what we have found is that companies slash both product returns and tech dispatches, and the customer is super happy. The second major use case is inspect. This use case is also very rampant and is used by inspectors, auditors, loss adjusters from the insurance industry, and the kinds of deskless workers who usually have to drive to various sites to inspect, audit, or examine the damage of an equipment under a warranty or an insurance policy. They typically take photos and detailed notes and come back to their office and spend a couple of hours collating the notes with the photos to construct a digital inspection or audit report. Some of the more modern workforce here might even have a tablet with digital templates that help them walk around and complete the report by taking photos and filling specific fields on the tablet. Some of these take a few minutes, to some of them taking as many as a few days. This category of people were hard hit during the pandemic, and some of them started using remote tools like Blitzz. Blitzz Inspect is more geared towards this use case. Note that in this case, a trip to the site is completely eliminated, and the person doing the remote inspection and the person who would have traveled had they not had this capability would be one and the same. Whereas in the earlier use case of concierge support, there is a high likelihood of eliminating a trip or a product return, but that is not guaranteed 100%. A dispatch might still be needed, but the dispatch tech this time is ensured to arrive on site with the right parts and the knowledge to get the job done right the first time. Also, the person dispatched by a contact center is usually different and from a different team with a trained skill set to work on site. So this level of skill must be taken into consideration when deploying concierge support successfully. The next topic, that is using an app-based technology versus an app-free technology, is understated. Hence, I decided to devote a few minutes to this because people don't know this differentiation, and in fact, people don't even search for this capability. While video calling on the Chrome browser has been around for almost a decade, it was only in 2018 that it was possible on the Safari browser. Yes, this topic does get technically heavy for most people, but to make it really simple, 99% of the people in the world today are used to apps and video calling in apps that you have to download from the Apple or Android App Store. So if you ask anyone out on the street the question, hey, what do you use for video calling with your family? They're going to mention WhatsApp or FaceTime without realizing that these are apps that they installed or come pre-installed on the phone they and their families have. And then when you ask them, hey, what about work? They're probably going to say, we are a Zoom shop or a Microsoft Teams shop or a WebEx shop, and our IT gives access to that platform. Again, these platforms are installed apps. So what's the problem here? Well, think of your contact center agent at a contact center. Even if he or she had a license to start a video call from his or her end, when a customer is routed to them through the call center routing software, how are they then going to get the customer started on that installed platform like Zoom, Teams, or WebEx? Well, they have to ask the customer, do you have Zoom, WebEx, or Teams installed on your phone? And the answer is probably no for the average person, since most people, if they use a meeting software, they use it from their laptops or desktops. But most people today call from their mobile smartphones for support. Even if they did have the app, they probably have to update it again for the App Store. The App Store usually requires a password that the customer may or may not remember. So what I'm getting to is that when a frustrated customer calls for support, and if you as the agent has to ask them to download an app so that you can see their equipment, you're potentially causing them even more frustration by asking them to go to the App Store, log in, download an app, register as a user, and then logging in again to start a video call with you. And even then, most of these apps are geared for face-to-face meetings and not for troubleshooting. This is why a large telco company switched to Blitzz after trying to get their subscribers or customers to download, register, and log into Zoom, the app, when they called their support number. It took them 15 frustrating minutes with their customer to do this, and when they switched to Blitzz, they were on a video call within 10 seconds to focus on the customer's real problem as opposed to creating another problem of downloading an app. Now, are there advantages of an app? There are some things that an app does way better than a browser, and guess what? We do have a lightweight backup app for those purposes where there is no registration or logging in by the customer, but just a quick download seamlessly from the browser workflow. But we've found that 99% of the customers have not found this backup app to be necessary. Also, browsers are getting more powerful day by day, so the app-free browser experience is here to stay because of how frictionless it is. I'll get into how all of this works out in just a bit, but before that, let me share some of the brands that use us today. All right, social proof, right? Well, I often cite two well-loved brands for Blitzz Concierge. They're BMW and Rogers Communications. There are many more, but if you Google BMW Blitzz, the two words, go on, do it, you'll see a bunch of articles and perhaps even a podcast where BMW talks about successful implementation of Blitzz and the great value they see. I'll let that do the talking here. Also, Googling the term Rogers Blitzz 2020 will get you to a couple of annual fiscal reports, and for us to make it into one of those has been a true testimonial to the value Rogers sees in our partnership with them. This use case around telcos repeats itself with several brands in both US and Canada. And last but certainly not least is a video from Nick Burton, the Chief Digital Officer of Belron. Belron actually is the parent company of the awesome brand Safelite. Yes, I know their famous jingle comes to mind. And that link is here. With Blitzz Inspect, again here, I'd like you to hear it from our customers rather than us tooting our own horn. Please Google DNV and Blitzz together, and you'll see two articles from DNV where specific DNV leaders and Blitzz users there talk about how their productivity was boosted by Blitzz. One of our favorite videos is from an engineering firm called Skytech. I'll let the video do that talking, but I wanted to give Rick Hopkins, the inspector there, credit for showing us how to conduct a thorough professional inspection over remote video. The link to that video is here. Here's one more video from an experienced city building inspection manager at a large county in the Bay Area in California. Also, please do read some of the reviews on Gartner's Capterra website. The link is here. And if you're real curious, you can also visit this link where we try to keep up with all the news around Blitzz as more and more customers adopt our technology. While this is not intended to be a demo of the product, I'll still give you a quick overview of how it works at a high level. With a team of empathetic engineers who've been out on the field, we've kept the UI and UX to be simple and efficient. In fact, 99% of our customers have refused training on using the platform given how intuitive it is to use. Where we've helped them by staying engaged during the pilot is with change management and adoption. We understand how all of us have an inertia to try something new, but I digress. I'll get back to that later. Whether it's Blitzz Concierge or Inspect, your agent can log in like they would into any cloud-based platform like perhaps Netflix or Amazon. Then it's 3 easy steps. Step 1, your agent will click on an invite button where the customer's smartphone number is keyed in and the SMS sent. Step 2, the customer then clicks on that link in the SMS. Step 3, a video call starts without an app download. That's it, that's simple. Your agent is what we call the host, for which a license on a subscription plan is needed. The guests are the rest of the people joining the call, and they don't pay a dime for joining the call. There are various useful features like pointer, zoom, markups, text extract, and much more on the platform for the agent. Being a very transparent company eager to let smart buyers like you help yourselves as needed, we share a ton of helpful articles on help.blitz.co. Simply type in the words like security, privacy, storage, or any search term, and you should have answers to most questions at your fingertips. Also, what's new.blitz.co is a great page to see how we constantly innovate from customer requests. If Blitzz was integrated into your existing CRM or field service platform, Blitzz would show up as another feature within your platform where your users would love the seamless extension of your platform to live video. Today, we have native integrations with several platforms like ServiceNow, Salesforce, Zendesk, and many more. Talk to us about your specific needs. And yes, you could white label Blitzz as your own brand right out of the box, like several of our customers have done. Also, do check out this link if you're curious about integrations into your homegrown platform. Apart from the ease of use and the feature set that customers love us for, there's also one more thing that we've been able to delight our customers with, and that is our analytics through our usage dashboards. With these dashboards, our customers are able to track how effective Blitzz is for them and how many agents are using it, what features they use, how many calls get carried out, and with what disposition. They glean valuable insights from our standard reports. They can slice and dice the data with their own analysts and even ask us for custom reports pertinent to their KPIs with a clear handle on their ROI at all times. Now, we know that getting your customers to self-help to get their problems solved is the holy grail. This means a customer who calls with an equipment issue is able to use computer vision through the customer's phone camera that recognizes the equipment in front of the customer, identifies the problem, and recommends the best solution. The customer implements the solution and gives the support a 5-star rating her own way in a matter of minutes. Call deflection to reduce high call volume reduces costs and keeps customers happy. So your question is, why not bypass the human agent with computer vision followed by AI suggesting resolution steps? And our answer is, let us use a crawl, walk, run approach, because getting an already frustrated customer who has probably tried other digital self-help channels to point their phone, which is unique cameras, a unique browser, or even forcing them to download an app, can frustrate them even more. For image recognition to work flawlessly, the system needs an upfront data set to train the engine to recognize equipment and their components from different camera angles and lighting conditions. Encouraging the customer with statements like, please reposition your phone and try again, like we sometimes do while depositing checks through our bank's remote deposit app, is not exactly alleviating the customer's initial frustration. While we have tried these methodologies with some of our customers, we've found that solving the low-hanging fruit first with live, human-supported video moves the needle impactfully for the support team and improves KPIs like first-time resolution, customer satisfaction, and truck roll reduction. While that is happening, with your oversight, we get busy building specific data sets of equipment images, resolution steps, and training our image recognition algorithms and recommendation engines to get to the Holy Grail. Happy to get into more details when we talk. So what is the real challenge here? Buying great affordable technology is one thing. The real challenge is the willingness to use the technology and overcome that initial inertia and driving adoption, which for a large organization is easier said than done. The good news is that our customer success team has successfully helped large companies define success criteria during a pilot, what we often call the Blitzz Challenge, and then define a pragmatic timeline to achieve that success and seamlessly transition to a full deployment. Being cloud-based, we've seen large companies deploy with over 2,000 licenses in less than a week. We're here to share best practices from such experiences. If you have field techs who need to use their hands while being instructed by a remote subject matter expert, Smartglasses are definitely a good solution. And yes, we partner with several smart glass companies and have had a ton of experience helping people selecting the right one and even helping them decide if they really need them. The most important thing there is, again, the ease of use. That is, how easy do the techs find the smart glasses to wear, maintain, and use? If you are curious, more than happy to set up a call to chat about this as well and share best practices. So there you have it. If this webinar has given you the knowledge and drive to trust us and get started, which I hope it did, and sign up for a free trial, we'll set up a quick call. In that call, we'll understand your use case, goals, and timelines, and set you up for a successful pilot. Our pricing is on our website, which is www.blitz.co, and our goal here is to be as transparent as possible to succeed or fail quickly without you having to commit additional resources during the pilot. We'll even point you to the competition if they're a better fit. We can also help you with a build versus buy decision. Every member in our team has a deep purpose to educate and empower others to make clear, deliberate, positive decisions, even if we don't close the sale. Thank you for your time today.